Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Karkadash, the honors to the apostles and notice the GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers who across the four corners who are learning in truth and sincerity, the women and children, and the confusion of faith who follow. So I'm doing this lesson. I was watching Kevin Samuels the other day, and he made a statement concerning New York turning a blind eye to women of the night. Well, that's what we'll call it. We won't use that word. We won't use that word. We'll just call it women of the night. And it was interesting to me because he started talking about the global reset and how things are going to be turned upside down. And that's exactly what the scripture says. So I thought I would do a little bit of research on my own and, kind of piggyback off of his statement and, come to a conclusion. And I've definitely came to the conclusion that he was right on this, and just got a couple articles I wanted to share some scriptures as well. We live in a society where the women are very privileged. We live in a society, this Western society, where women don't believe that they need a man as long as they have their government assistance, as long as they have child support, as long as they can call the police. They don't feel like as if they need a man. If they do want a man, he has to be making $1,000,000. I know it's an exaggeration, but they want a $100,000, $200,000 man, and the majority of them coming with another man's baby, another man's seed, and all that's about to stop with this sickness that's going on, this illness, and all the government funds that have been allocated. Things are going to run short. Things are running out. Okay, so I know I'm doing a lot of talking right now. Just want to kind of set this up, but we're going to let these articles and these scriptures talk. So let's let's get this first one. It's from the New York Times, and let's see what's the date on this. From April 21st, earlier this year, April 21st of 2021. It says Manhattan to stop prosecuting women of the night. Part of nationwide shift. So it's not just New York, but there's multiple cities, and we're going to go through them that are actually making this shift. It says the district attorney, Cyrus R. Vance Jr., moved to dismiss thousands of cases dating back decades amid a growing movement to change the criminal justice system's approach to women of the night. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office announced Wednesday that it would no longer prosecute women of the night and unlicensed massage, putting the weight on one of the most high-profile law enforcement offices in the United States behind the growing movement to change the criminal justice system's approach to women of the night work. Okay, he says the district attorney, Cyrus R. Vance Jr., asked a judge on Wednesday morning to dismiss 914 open cases involving women of the night and unlicensed massage, along with 5,080 cases in which the charge was loitering for purpose of women of the night. The law that made the latter charge a crime, which had become known as the Walking While Trans law, was repealed by New York State in February. Okay, it says the announcement represents a substantive shift in the Manhattan District Attorney's approach to women of the night. Many of the cases Mr. Vance moved to dismiss dated to the 70s and 80s when New York waged war against women of the night in an effort to clean up its image as a center of iniquity and vice. So he says over the last decades, those we've learned from those with lived experience and from our own experience on the ground. Criminally prosecuting women of the night does not make us safer, and too often achieves the opposite result by further marginalizing vulnerable New Yorkers. Ah, like, bro, what are you talking about? I mean, it doesn't make us safer. Okay, yeah, it's what he's basically saying. It's a crime. It's a victimless crime, is what he's saying. The office will continue to prosecute other crimes related to women of the night, including patronizing women of the night, promoting women of the night, and trafficking women of the night. And said its policy would not stop it from bringing other charges that stem from women of the night related arrests. So the people who are paying women of the night, the pimps, the traffickers, they will still be prosecuted, but the actual women of the night will not be prosecuted. And you're gonna have, like I said, I'm saying all this to set it up because it says Manhattan will join Baltimore, Philadelphia, and other jurisdictions who have declined to prosecute women of the night. Brooklyn also does not prosecute people arrested for women for being women of the night, but instead refers them to social services before they are compelled to appear in court. So being a woman of the night is not going to be um, illegal anymore in these bigger cities, and it's coming to a city near you. Why is that? Well, let's just take a look at this article, and this is from the Washington Post, dated what's a good date on this? July 21st. So just a few days ago. 5 days ago. Key federal aid programs are running out of time in cash as the new sickness variant spreads. The money's running up. These women are going to have to make money one way or another. And being a woman of the night, that $40, that $40 is going to go a long way. But you're not going to be having, these women aren't going to be able to live off the system anymore. So these average guys, these guys that they wouldn't turn a blind eye to, guess who they're going to be looking at? Yeah, men of the Lord. Guess who they're going to be looking at? But if you know about the White Castle. If you know about the White Castle movement. But that's an inside joke. But a lot of men of the Lord really aren't checking for Eve. They rub us the wrong way. Matter of fact, let's get a couple scriptures. First scripture we're going to get is explaining how, or not how they rub us the wrong way, but why they depend on other people. This is like the scriptures talk, right? Isaiah 30:1, it says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that taketh counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Right. You're covering with a covering, but not of the Most High Spirit. Okay? You're not going to the Most High. You're not going to men of the Lord to get protection. Okay? Speaking of women in this scenario, you would rather go to someone else, okay, go to another source for your protection or for your comfort. It says that Walter go down to Egypt, Egypt being um, America, okay, going to the government, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Women trust in the shadow of Egypt. They trust in these programs, the ADC, the food stamps, the sickness checks, the stimulus. I know people with 5 kids, that's gotten thousands of dollars. I know people with 8 kids, and no man at home. How you got 8 kids and no man at home? Because you can't have a man at home because you on these programs, and they will shut it down, and you don't want to get shut down, so you won't have a man at home. Shit, you might have a ninth kid. You times is getting rough. Well, like I said, these programs are ending. And who wants a woman with 8 liabilities, 5 liabilities? Hell, 1 liability. If it's not yours, if it's not your seed, no man in the Lord is gonna, willy nilly. I'm not gonna say no man in the Lord, okay? But for the most part, men don't want to take care of another man's seed, especially dealing with these demons out here. The women are out of order, the kids are out of order. Nobody wants to deal with all that BS. It says, verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay, so that's where you put your trust. Now it's going to be your shame. It's going to be your downfall. Are you trusting in these programs? And guess what? They're running out of money. They're running out of time, and they're running out of cash, man. Let's go a little bit into this program. Know what this bitch talking about? Some of the federal stimulus programs that kept families and businesses afloat financially throughout the worst of the sickness pandemic are soon expiring or are already depleted, raising fresh economic fears at a time when another wave of infections is starting to sweep through the country. So they're putting out this narrative that this Delta variant is out here and it's sweeping through the country. Why? Because they want to shut everything right back down. And when they shut everything right back down, you're not going to be getting this money. So what? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do to feed your kids? What are you going to do to feed your family? You going to either lower your standards and get with a man that will take you, or you gonna, like we just read, you're gonna be one of those women of the night asking for that $40. Shit, it might go down to 25. Nigga never know. But it's all fun and games. It says that the new concerns stem from a highly transmittable Delta variant, which has ravaged largely unvaccinated pockets of states, including uh, Arkansas, Missouri, and Florida. The growing caseloads threaten once again to crimp travel and tourism, reduce traffic to storefronts and restaurants, and displace workers from their jobs. A prospect that has led to wild gyrations on Wall Street as investors try to determine what will happen next. So they're putting out this narrative that this big bad Delta variant is out there, and a lot of people are getting sick. Wall Street doesn't know what to do. Which the elder Malcolm of the Chicago camp, he has a great point, and he continues to hammer it home that these masks that people are wearing is for naught because your nose, your mouth, your eyes, and your ears are all connected. So if your eyes and your ears aren't in a sealed container with your nose and your mouth, then you would still get it. So this is all really BS. But this agenda is moving forward. Why? Because the time is moving forward. The Lord said in Matthew 24, had he not sped up the time, let's get that. In fact, I just got my Bible right here, so we'll get it from there. This is Matthew 24 and 22. It says, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Right, so the times is speeding up. Okay, everything is moving fast now. All right, the Lord said it will surely come, it shall not tarry. You know, we're moving into the MOTB. Let me let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, and give ear unto my speech. Okay? This is the Lord speaking, but, if you're watching this video, I'm imploring you to please give ear to my speech as well. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fall, the gathering shall not come. Okay? The gathering shall not come, the income. Okay, women are gathering what they're gathering right now. They're able to, without effort, I'll say, they're able to gather. They're able to sow without reaping. But that's about to come to an end. You know, and when you watch like Kevin Samuels, for example, you'll see woman after woman after woman after woman come on there saying that they would prefer to live with the man, and be responsible for 20% or less of the bills, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that if you are playing the role of a traditional woman and he's in the role of a traditional man. The problem comes where non-traditional women want to play the role of a traditional woman and have a man play the role of a traditional man. It just doesn't work. But these careless women who are wanting to be taken care of, women don't want to work. Okay, that's it, and they're made to be keepers at home. But in this society, you know, through that F word, I know you know what I'm talking about. The feminism, women have been propped up, and they think that they are up here, that they're better than men. Women think that they're better than men in this society. Okay, it says, "Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you." It's gonna be a lot of strippers in that day, and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Now, it's not talking about it's not telling women to go strip. Is what it's saying is women are going to be exposed. Okay, the covering that they're covering with, which is the government, is going to be taken from them. So they're going to be out here, um, basically without protection. That so what can they do? How can they finance this? You're going to see a lot of women running the OnlyFans. Same little the girl next door who you never thought would do anything like that. Oh no, she's a good girl. She's gonna be on OnlyFans here pretty soon. Which even that content is about to get switched over, so you can't do that kind of business on there either. But these women are gonna be out here, and they're gonna be the thirsty ones, as it says. And the women are gonna be the thirsty ones. Isaiah 13 and 12, it says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir." Right, so men are going to be the commodity. Men are already the prize. We're going to be even more so in that day, and even more so for a man of the Lord, because we're going to Jacob's trouble. We are going into a time that never was before. And to get through this time, you're going to have the Lord on your side. And through all these calamities that's coming, the Lord is going to be working with his men. And that hedge of protection that he has is going to be with whom whom is with him in that day. It says in Corinthians that the husband shall save the wife and the wife shall save the husband. But that goes back to a lot of, like I said, a lot of men of the Lord aren't checking for Eve at this moment. We don't need them to bring back the kingdom. We can bring back the kingdom through heathens. The so-called black woman has put a really bad taste in the mouth of the men of the Lord. I don't know. I mean, I'm just a man, and this is just me speaking. But it's gonna be a bad case for even that day, man. The so-called black woman, that is. So Isaiah 4:1, it says, "In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." Which that reproach is very speedily coming. Okay, coming is coming down the pipe. Let's get this last article real quick, which is kind of going to tie everything together. And this is from Bloomberg News.com, and it's from July 22nd. It says, "Where is the money?" It says millions risk eviction over delayed U.S. aid. So there's a lot of people who are about to lose their homes. Matter of fact, I didn't even go into this one. Before we get into that one, let's get into this one. Evictions loom. Courts hope landlord tenant disputes can be settled without going to trial, because there are a lot of people who haven't paid rent over the past year and a half now. People who haven't paid rent, and guess what? Them landlords want their money. You're going to have a lot of people out that's going to be on the street. A lot of women and children going to be on the street. And guess what? You can't come to baby daddy house. Baby daddy don't want you. And neither do your second baby daddy, or neither do your third baby daddy. So what, you going back to your mama house? You and your 7 kids? You and your 3 kids? Whatever. You going to OnlyFans, that's where you're going. You going on the street corners because it's legal now. $40 at a time. And I'm just joking when I say $40. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It says this August, 18,000. I repeat, 18,000 renters in Essex County and their landlords will head to mandatory settlement conferences, hoping to avoid evictions in a process state court officials will hope will give them relief from a huge backlog of cases as an end to the state's evictions moratorium looms. It says New Jersey courts are estimating 192,000 families. Do you see? This is just New Jersey. 192,000 families could face eviction statewide in just the first quarter of next year, Superior Court Judge Stephen Petrillo said. Do I even have to read anymore? OnlyFans. But guess what? You for the streets. You do your OnlyFans, you for the streets. You're walking on the street. You're for the streets. Real men of value not gonna want you. So you might as well just humble yourself. But women can't. Women don't have humility. Women lack accountability. Honest boy, I can go for days, but it's not about that. Okay, it's not about what I think women do. It's about what they do in the sight of the Lord, which isn't correct, right? Their mishaps in dealing with Yahweh by Shem Shai. Okay, so it says 24% of New Jersey renters, 24% of New Jersey renters either can't currently pay their rent or worry they won't be able to pay the next 2 months and fear eviction, according to a recent analysis from Quote Wizard by Lending Tree. That's almost a quarter of New Jersey looking to be potentially homeless. Where you think where are all these people gonna go? I tell you where they're gonna go: concentration camps. Because with all the with oh the homeless crisis, we have to do something. We have to have housing for all these people who couldn't pay their rent and now have no place to go. Well, I have an idea what we can do. Let's put this chip in you. You come to our concentration. You come to our FEMA camp, okay? Where we're gonna nurse you back to health. We're gonna get you the help that you need. We're gonna get you in a house. We're gonna get you paid and everything. But here, you take this chip and you put it in you, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Mark my words. Hey, you know, Lord's will. Lord's will. That's what happens. You know, we know in part, we prophesy in part, and I'm prophesying in part that a lot of these evictions are going to lead to the concentration camps, and a lot of these women are going to, and men too, because I keep saying women, but it's a lot of men too that are going to fall into this category. Okay, because men aren't getting a pass. If you're not serving Yahweh Shem Shai, then you're going to get caught up in this as well. But let's go to this last article, and I'll go ahead and close it out from here. I just want you to see. Look at her. All in her masculine frame. She looked like she. She only date Jake. She only date Jake. Says Sharon Oster has been trying for months to get government assistance to pay rent, but 10 days before the federal eviction memorandum expires, the Louisiana resident has yet to see a single penny. Mm-mm-mm. Poor Sharon. Let's see what's going on with Sharon. Like millions of Americans, Oster, who has not worked since an injury in October 2019, worries she will soon lose her home despite billions in unspent aid passed by Congress and distributed by programs nationwide during the sickness. A lot of people got rich. That's what I'm gonna tell you. That's where that money went into a lot of politicians' pockets. States and local jurisdictions who desperate programs which basically means let's go ahead and I looked it up, but I want to be able to. Is essentially different in kind, not allowing comparison. Things so unlike that there is no basis for comparison. Okay, so their programs have been mired in bureaucracy and communications problems. Okay, because the states in a whole have the money, but all the individual cities and counties have to go to the state in order to get the money, and that's where the communication is being uh, miscommunicated, for lack of a better term. Okay, let them tell it, because in an information society, there should be no miscommunications. You should just be able to send out a mass email and everyone gets their fair share or whatnot. But it's not for me to determine that. It says um, miscommunication or communication problems have dispersed just a fraction of 47 billion in federal funding enacted since December to help struggling renters pay their housing costs and landlords recoup lost revenue. It says localities at the same time risk losing at least some of that funding altogether if they don't get the bulk of it into the hands of Americans before October. So time's running out. It says Oser, 47. So she's 47 in her masculine frame. Look at her. It says apply for aid through Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Let me see. Oser 47 applied for aid through Jefferson Parish after Louisiana received more than 300 million in federal rent relief funding in February. With medical bills and student debt, she is 10 months behind on rent and got an eviction notice earlier this year. Well, if they've got federal relief in February, and this is July, February, March, April, May, June, July, it's 6 months. So, what about the other 4 months that you didn't pay rent? Well, you didn't pay rent the other 4 months. Did you think it was just going to be a free for all? Because the money wasn't even available for the first 4 months. But she's been sitting at home since October 2019. The sickness didn't even happen until what? January of 2020? So she's been sitting at home going on 2 years, almost 3 years. Going back to my previous point, these women don't want to work. They want to be independent, but they don't want to work. She's 47, and it said that she had medical bills and student debt. Now, either she's been paying off college for 20 some odd years, or she went back to school late and is still paying it off. Either way, she ain't got no job. That degree ain't doing her nothing right now. And that goes back to my previous point with the Isaiah 30 about um covering with a covering but not of my spirit and going down to Egypt. A lot of women cover with the covering of education. They believe that if they go to school and they get their degree and their master's degree or their PhD, that they don't need a man and they can just take care of themselves and willy nilly do whatever they want, you know, and then they can't find a husband because they're so caught up in their career, opposed to being a wife, opposed to being a mother. Now, I'm pretty sure she's a mother of two or three. just let's look at her one more time. I'm pretty sure she's. I'm pretty sure she's a mother of at least two or three. But she's been sitting at home for almost 3 years. Where's the man at? Where's the man at? Your bills would be getting paid if you had a man, but guess what? You 47 still paying your student debt, yeah, you put your trust in that degree. You thought that degree was going to save you. And now you're thinking that the government was going to save you. But guess what? It's not so. These women aren't going to be saved. They're going to have to humble themselves and go down to a man. Or if not, you can always get that $40 on the street as a woman of the night. And with that being said, hey, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, and the confusion of faith who follow. Shalom.